You won't believe the wildest thing that just happened in the animal kingdom. Some creatures are using tools to groom themselves with the same confidence as a person checking their hair in a mirror. And if you think humans are the only species picky about staying clean, prepare for a reality check. Because the deeper you look, the more it becomes clear that grooming isn't just hygiene. It's strategy, survival, and sometimes pure personality. It all starts with a monkey who figured out that a twig could solve a problem no fingernail could. A capuchin sits on a sun-warmed rock, inspects a stick, and uses it like a precision instrument to pry dirt from places no finger could reach. It's the animal version of discovering the perfect grooming tool you never knew you needed. And the confidence with which they do this screams, if you're still grooming the old way, think twice. Capuchins don't just groom, they troubleshoot. They dig out insects, scrape debris from their fur, and sometimes even share their tools, as if showing off the latest must-have self-care gadget. But things get even stranger when you look at elephants. Picture one standing beside a tree, breaking off a branch and shaping it, literally shaping it, until it fits exactly the way they want. Then they use that custom-made tool to scratch spots on their enormous bodies that their trunks just can't reach. Imagine the frustration of an itch you can't scratch multiplied by 6 tons of animal, and suddenly the engineering makes sense. The moment the branch hits the perfect spot, the elephant freezes in that blissed-out finally moment every human understands. And once they realize the tool works, they'll remember it for years. Some even carry their best scratching sticks around like prized possessions. If that impressed you, wait until you see a crow. These birds don't just make tools, they make specialized tools. Drop a crow near a source of hair, wool, or even a human discarded comb, and it'll use those materials to preen itself with more intention than some people brush their hair. Researchers once watched a crow gently pull strands of wool into a neat bundle, then use it to buff and clean every feather. That level of precision grooming from a creature that also solves puzzles, plans heists on unattended food, and remembers human faces. It makes you wonder what they're preparing for. Grooming for a crow is not vanity, it's aerodynamics. And then there are sea otters, possibly the most relatable creatures on this list. They treat rocks like multi-purpose grooming companions. One otter might use a favorite stone to crack shells for food, only to flip it over moments later and use the smooth side to scrub its fur. For otters, fur maintenance is life, literally. Their survival in cold water depends on that insulating layer, and they obsess over keeping it pristine. Watching an otter scrub and roll and polish itself with a rock feels like watching someone meticulously clean their sneakers, absolutely focused, absolutely content, completely in their element. But if you think tool-based grooming is only for smart mammals and clever birds, wait for the fish that blows everyone's expectations out of the water. Wrasses and groupers have been spotted using coral as a personal back scrubber, swimming toward the rough surface and rubbing themselves the way a person might use the corner of a wall for a shoulder itch. But one particular observation changed everything. An intelligent wrasse found a clamshell and repeatedly struck it against a rock until it broke open. After eating, it returned to the rock later and used the same spot to scrape loose scales and parasites. That rock became a grooming center, a kind of underwater exfoliation spa. Orangutans take grooming tools to a whole new level. When you see one strip the leaves off a branch to make a smooth stick, dip it into tree sap, and then carefully comb the sap through its hair like a natural conditioner, you start to feel like humans might have borrowed more from nature than we realized. Orangutans are methodical. They'll test different sticks, experiment with textures, and use leafy branches like giant brushes. And just when you think they can't get more innovative, one will use a large leaf as a towel, pressing and patting itself dry after rain. It's grooming, yes, but it's also self-care, comfort, and absolutely intentional. Dolphins enter this list with a behavior that looks shockingly similar to a spa routine. In certain regions, they pluck marine sponges from the seafloor and press them against their faces and bodies before rubbing themselves along sandy bottoms and rock formations. At first, researchers thought this was simply playful, but the dolphins weren't doing it randomly. They were exfoliating. What's more incredible is how they teach this behavior to one another. It spreads through pods like a trending beauty hack. Porcupines join the tool use club with a surprising trick. Their quills are sharp, but they shed naturally and can get tangled or dirty. So, porcupines have actually been seen picking up sticks or dragging themselves across strategically chosen branches to remove loose quills and debris. It's careful, slow work. One wrong move and they'd stab themselves. Yet they execute the process with calm, patient precision, honestly, like someone detangling hair with a fragile antique comb. Macaws make an appearance when they use sticks to scratch their heads, faces and backs, places their beaks can't safely reach. One macaw was observed proudly carrying its favorite scratching tool, a particular twig it chose again and again, even ignoring others that looked identical. It's as if the bird simply preferred the way that one felt, proving that personal preference in grooming tools isn't exclusive to humans. Finally, we reach the creature whose grooming tool might be the most unexpected, the humble hermit crab. When a crab finds a shell, the first thing it does is inspect and clean it. Some crabs have been spotted grabbing small bits of coral or stone and using them like scrubbing tools to clear debris from the inside before moving in. It's a home inspection and a grooming ritual combined, because for them, a clean shell is survival. The moment they finish, they slide into their spotless new home like someone settling into fresh hotel sheets, completely satisfied. All of these animals are doing more than staying clean. They're showing that grooming with tools is part instinct, part ingenuity, and part personality. And once you notice it, these small, clever choices reveal an unexpected truth. Animals aren't just surviving, they're solving problems creatively, one grooming tool at a time.